that just we want to say, and now we go into the what it's about. So we love to give to our protagonist a lot of space and to not get involved with our voices or with our questions, our faces into a movie. For us it's really interesting to follow in every moment the subject and to, I mean the protagonist with the subject, follow them, let them breathe and become friends with them and live like them, and then work together with them and build a story. And this is how the, like our idea behind started, that we want that in every moment you can be, it is an immersive moment. You get deeper and deeper and deeper into the daily life of people without noticing at the end that you're watching a documentary. It doesn't matter. It's just you get lost in their faces, in their actions, in their thoughts. And so that's why we chose the strategy to be close and to have an invisible cut editing, yeah.
For the camera work, we want definitely also to thank our cameraman who cannot be with us today, Jakob Maria Kohl. Yeah, he did a very, very great job, and he really understood also what we wanted to do. So I think for the language we choose, it's definitely linked also to the topos of our shooting, which means we have once this industrial apocalyptical landscapes that are pretty, pretty empty because there are no houses. There are few houses, but actually there's no so much life around the nuclear power plant. And then there are these camping cars who are actually the homes of some of the subcontractors, some of the nuclear workers. And so I think for us it became, I mean, this feeling of being very close to a protagonist emerges from the location of the shooting, because once you get into the camper van, which isn't, let's say, something easy, it's a trust you need to build up. People don't open up their houses like that. This is also a work of research, of showing interest, of developing a contact with a protagonist to help us also to get in. But once you get in, you're close, because the room is like through by two square meters, so it's it's very close. And after we did the shooting in 3 shooting blocks, and we understood after the first shooting block that we also need, in contrast to this very close the close relation we build up with the protagonist, much more the landscape also. So to make the contrast stronger of these people being isolated around this nuclear power plants.
Maybe I start, just one thing I thought about, because first of all, it's really, really difficult to get into these power plants. It's with our little budget, we are a student film. We've been 3 people who also shot this whole movie in the camper van. Like, we also traveled around in the camper van, and there was no more. That this was all our money went to the camper van that we rented and can afford the gasoline. So there was no possibility to, I don't know, like to give them a real offer. Let us in. We are. You know us from this or that movie, because we're really unknown. We are really beginners at the beginning of our careers as filmmakers. But then, as we understood, okay, it will be really tough to get in. Tizian also tried it sometimes to write mails. They kindly replied, no, it's not possible. But so we stopped, and then we said, okay, how can we do this limit? How can we use it? Because it's also the sentence, limits make the artist, so don't stop when something doesn't work. And actually what we found out when we saw the first time these camper vans in front of the power plants is actually the work or the situation doesn't stop when you go home. You are enrooted, like you have no possibility to establish a private life. So actually, their situation after the work is highly political and highly sensitive for us and interesting, because how do you live? How can you live your life in front of a power plant on a parking lot? And actually, this then become our mainly interest, which is connected to many problems of the development in the French industry power plant market, I want to say, economy. We talk here about subcontractors, and this are all reasons why they end up there. Yeah. So they start with this motivation to just earn a lot in a few years, that we told already, and then they find themselves in this daily life of paying a lot also for getting from one power plant to another. Living in a camper van is not the beginning. You start all often also just with a gîte, it's called, like with little hostels somewhere. We saw people, they start with a tent, and people we chose, they already are there for some years, because then they could afford a camping car. So if you have a camping car, then you think, now it starts, now I can really save money. But then the next step is the house. So you need to work and to buy somewhere cheap ground, or to find someone who sells you a house. And when you need, and you want a family maybe, so you also, in this lifestyle, it's not so easy to find someone to love, someone you want to spend your life with them. So actually what I want to say is that with every new thing you achieved, a lot of new problems evolve. He has a house, he has kids, he has a family, but still he cannot be part of them, because he chose this work, because he has no work in his hometown. So he really became a nomad, and to go back to a settled life is really difficult. Yeah, we already said it. It's really surreal and amazing to be invited here and to have a talk to people from another continent, and still we have the opinion that you understand what we want to show, and you're interested also in the way we did it. So it really feels great, and thanks for the great questions.
Yeah, and basically it's also an honor, because the concern of the topic of the nuclear and the nuclear danger, I mean, with Fukushima, it's a huge topic here, also because you're a country with nuclear electricity that provides, I think, 22% of the global electricity in South Korea. Yeah, the thing is also, as we have seen it in this movie, the environment, I mean, it's not just it's also part, it's also the sustainability, it's also linked to the human aspect. And I think we talk about climate justice, and I think it goes along with social justice as well. Thank you very much.
Wait, one last thing. We really want to say it is not an anti-nuclear movie. Yeah, it is not what we want to do. It is just a movie who shows the reality of people we really been touched and wanted to share with you.